Everyone, happy Sunday. My name is Mole Oluwaline and I'm a regular host for the Journey series. Today we're going to be talking about taking your business from local to global, basically how to build a successful business in the diaspora. And we have a special guest of honor today. His name is Ambassador Oluwatosin David Aruno. He's the founder and creative director of T-Shocks Limited. He's an ECOWAS Youth Ambassador and a Global Talent Visa recipient and coach. He is also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Public Resources Management and Politics, Ghana. He is also a member of Forbes BLK, a global community for exceptional leaders who are changing narratives, breaking barriers, and creating better economies by driving culture and connection. Join me as I welcome Ambassador Oluwatosin David Aruno. Okay, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, thank God I'm back. I don't know what
Yeah,
just
good to have you back. Once again, we welcome you specially from the Estes Company Fellowship. Thank you for honoring our invitation. God bless you, and we're so proud of you. We see what you are doing. You are truly a global champion and a shining light, and we know we're going to learn a lot from today's session. Don't worry, we won't take too much of your time. Just a few minutes and we'll be done. All right. I'm sure you're ready for us. So my first question to you would be, how do we take our business from local to global? How do we build a successful business abroad?
All right. Thank you for having me today. When I got your email, I was like, well, it's a pleasure to be here today, and I must commend what you're doing as well. You're doing
Thank
a
you,
very
sir.
good. I could
Thank you, sir.
just say yes to your invite.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get right into it. So your question was, how do one build a business in the diaspora, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So building a business in the diaspora, it's I wouldn't say it's one of the easiest things to do. The most important thing one should notice, you can be back home in Nigeria. I want to put something straight. You don't have to be outside your home country before you build business back home. Before you build your business in the diaspora, you can be back home in Nigeria or wherever you come from and still have a business that thrive wherever the country might be. So what I'm going to say is, yeah, whatever you do in your business, make sure you do everything you're doing so well. Make sure your brand is known. Make sure you work on your visibility. That's one. Make sure you're true to your brand. A lot of people think Mr. X is doing so well in so business. I want to do that exact same business. You get what I'm saying? So you don't have to do what everyone is doing. Make sure you create a niche for yourself, right? And talking about, okay, you're now in the diaspora. How do you want to make this work? So the diaspora works. Let me give you an example. Now you're in the UK, right? And you're doing business in the UK. So you just need to know, okay, fine. Now I'm not back home in Nigeria. Business in the UK is different from the way business is operated back home in Nigeria. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you need to know that, fine, there are laws governing the states, governing wherever you are, that might not be the same laws you have in your country. One thing I'll say is the issue of patent rights, right? Back home in Nigeria, you see different people doing the same thing someone is doing now, unapologetically. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But
Yeah.
yeah, in the diaspora, you must know that you can't just copy word for word, or you can't just copy verbatim, or you can't just copy what somebody is doing already. Do you get what I mean? You're going to be sued for a lot of pounds or dollars, irrespective of the country you are. So you just need to create a niche for yourself, and you just need to go with your flow. Do not just say you want to copy Mr. A or you want to copy Mr. B.
Mm. Thank you very much for that. So I would like to ask that what unique challenges do entrepreneurs in the diaspora face compared to those in the home country? Like,
Uh,
I don't know, what unique challenge have you really faced since you've been
yeah,
in the UK compared to when you're in Nigeria?
yeah. So it will take me back to what I said. One of the challenge we face in the UK is, the laws operating here are not the same laws. Most times back home in Nigeria, we don't really have, everything goes. But here in the UK, everything does not go. So you need to, first of all, make sure you know what's on ground. Make sure you know what you're doing. And another thing you need to know is your culture from back home is different from what is operated in the UK or wherever you are. So in the diaspora, like I'll give an example of the UK, right? Which is where I am. The way we operate in Lagos or the way we operate in Nigeria, there are some things that the people already know. This is what you do. This is what you sell. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But another case in the UK, like they might not know what you are doing. You need to break it down to them. Let's give an example. I make traditional attires as well as I make suit attire. So there's a way, when they see the agbada that we have, not every British person will want to wear your agbada. So you need to
Yeah.
know that there's a way you can, tailor this agbada and make it, not so, maybe you don't have to make it to, the 1,500. You get what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? So you need to just make sure know what they want, because you can't keep doing what you're doing back home and expect to, they don't know our culture. Yeah, when I say do what they want, I don't mean you now forget the culture. You can just infuse our culture and make sure it's appealing to them. So with those two things, once you are able to address those two unique issues, then you're good to go.
All right. Thank you, sir. I would like to ask that what role does networking play in building a successful business within the diaspora community?
That networking you said is the most important thing that one has to do in the UK. I'll give you an example. When I first got into the UK, I came to the UK for further study. I came here for my master's, right? And while I was doing my master's, I've been operating tea clothiers back home in Nigeria for I think 10 to 12 years back home. So
Wow.
when I came to the UK, when I came to the UK as a student, I made sure I knew what I was doing. I came to study while I also want to expand my business into the UK. So networking is one of the things I did. Well, I'll give you an example. I made sure I got on, their fashion shows, their mentorship programs happening in the UK or happening everywhere. I made sure I got on this mentorship program, because I tell people having a mentor or having somebody you can look up to, somebody you can call up to in case you're having issues in your craft is one good thing, because mentorship the usefulness of mentorship cannot be overemphasized. The usefulness of getting on all this mentorship program, getting on all these shows that are concerning what you do, because this is the place where you are going to meet people that are already in that country that knows everything about and that's when you try as much as possible to build good relationship with these people. So once you can do all those, you're already getting used to the system, and by the time you get into the system, you can now start getting ways to put your own self into the country.
So I know you recently did something with Lloyd's Bank. Would you say that networking played a role in you getting that deal?
Definitely. So, how did I get the Lloyd Bank invite? So, there is a very good friend of mine. She's also a fashion designer in the UK. She's been here for almost all her life, and we've done a lot of stuff together. I've been on their shows. Do you get what I mean? And they see what I do, they appreciate what I do, and they know this is definitely what this big companies, this Lloyd's Bank are looking for. And she just put in my name, and that's how it just came in. Which brings me back to your question, networking. Because without networking, I wouldn't have, we won't be friends, we won't be business colleagues, and I wouldn't get that kind of opportunity.
And you did really well. I saw the presentation. It was really nice. Well done. Well done. We're so
Thank,
proud of you, sir.
thank you very
So I
much.
was going to also ask that how can diaspora entrepreneurs leverage on their connections back home to enhance their business prospect in the diaspora?
All right, that's a very good question. Thank you for that. So, I tell you, the exchange rate at the moment is a whole lot. You know, uh, for upcoming fashion designers abroad or in the diaspora, production sometimes is a lot in the UK. Uh, Getting as little as a needle can cost you almost £10. If you calculate £10 to naira, you know what that is. And you know how much you can get that needle back home in Lagos, right? So I tell people, make sure you don't forget where you're coming from. You can still do production from back home. It
Mm.
helps at a competitive rate compared to what we have here. Also, talking about the not just the production aspect, I'm going to talk about the let's say the advertising aspect, the IT part of your business. Most of my staff that do the IT part, the website, the media, like the you our the what am I going to say? Not just the YouTube, our website and social media. Most of them are still back home.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? So leveraging expertise from back home is actually going to help the business. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
the price in terms of the market price might not be, if you want to employ somebody in the UK to help you do something, let's say your website, they're going to charge you in pounds. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
We have people back home that are good at these things, very good. We have great IT, even though most of them are already relocating out of Nigeria. But we have a lot of good IT tech guys that can do this stuff. So leveraging your usefulness, leveraging the expertise back home is a good thing that's going to help your business as well.
Thank you very much for that, sir. My next question would be, what are the most effective marketing strategies for reaching customers in the diaspora?
First of all, the most important one is word of mouth.
Mm.
you know, Preaching yourself, because nobody is going to preach you the way you're going to preach yourself. So make sure your word of mouth is good. And, whatever you do as a fashion designer, I'm going to use, make sure you always look good, because there's a way you're going to look, there's a way you're going to dress, and someone's going to come to you like, I like what you wear, I like what you're doing, how did you get, and what's the next thing you're going to say? I make these things. So word of mouth is one important thing you need to do, and make sure you're very good with your advertisement, because a lot of people wants to do what you're doing. A lot of people wants to wear. A lot of people wants to patronize you. But if they don't see you, they can't patronize you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Make sure social media is 100. Make sure your advertising is 100. Get what's it called, the website. It doesn't have to be the e website where people can the e-commerce website. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Just get a website, something to put you out there. And I tell you for a fact, if all these things are being put in place, you might not be there immediately, but Rome, they say, was not built in a day. So step by step, definitely one is going to get there.
So, I mean, I looked at your designs and I noticed that your designs are actually very unique. They're not like the regular jackets or the regular agbada. I could see some very unique designs. And my question is that, what inspired that creativity in you?
So the creativity about my styles is born out of the fact that I want every individual to look good in whatever they wear.
Mm.
The way the Africans are built, we are not built like the Europeans. The African person, the average African person is built to have a pot belly. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I started my business in the areas whereby I sell ready-made stuff where, things they've already made and I just sell to them. But I just thought to myself, like, what can I do different? A lot of people cannot wear, let's say someone has a pot belly, he has to start looking for extra large. What can you do to help individuals like this? So that's when I started creating bespoke attires. Do you get what I mean? I started creating bespoke attires, not forgetting the trendy styles, bringing the trendy styles into your own attire. So, that's just what makes me unique. That's what makes my brand unique. And that's what makes our product really unique as well.
All right, thank you, sir. My other question to you is, what resources or support systems are available for diaspora entrepreneurs looking to start or grow their businesses?
There are resources in the diaspora. There's access to funds. Like there was a creative development day I spoke at, I think, a week ago, and it opened my eye, even myself, it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. That is another thing, another good thing about going for shows and all this mentorship program. In the diaspora, there are so many funding programs that one can get on. Do you get what I mean? There's so many you just have to have something you're doing, because you need to pitch something to them, even not just in the UK, back home. I saw the Smedan group, this small and medium enterprises development of Nigeria. There was an initiative where you can't pitch your business, you can't tell the world what you can do, and with stuff like this, that's where funding comes from. Because I tell you for a fact, if it's not your family or nobody's going to fund your business. And I tell people, you don't have to always start big. You don't need all the millions to start anything you're doing in life. Start from whatever little amount you have, and once there's consistency and once you know what you're doing and you're doing that thing well, you're definitely going to make it.
Thank you very much for that, sir. So my other question to you would be, I'm sure that in the UK there are other fashion designers. How are you able to manage, how are you able to manage in a competitive market? Considering the fact that, I mean, you just came to the UK, and I mean, there are people that have been doing these businesses before, doing this fashion designing business before you came. How were you able to cope and penetrate into the diaspora market?
So how did
The
I?
foreign,
Uh,
sorry.
okay, you know what I did. Like I used to tell people, collaboration, not competition. That's just the word.
Mm.
Collaboration, not competition. When someone is there before you, you don't need any competition. Like, I want to be there. I want to be. Collaborate with these guys.
Mm.
Collaborate with. When you collaborate, when you bring yourself down and collaborate with people, they open up to you. So what do? I collaborated with loads of all these fashion designers in the UK, and collaborating with them, because I might be doing one thing and this person is also doing something else. We can work together and make great achievement.
Mm.
So I collaborated with loads. I never thought about competition, or I'm scared of all these people. Once you collaborate, once people see, because everyone has got one good thing about them. We are all distinctive in our doing. So once you collaborate with these people, they see the good side of your product. They also want to, achieve. They also want to, gain something from you. So, it's not a parasitic relationship. You guys are both gaining from each other. And with that, they put you on the shows, you put them on the shows, and, growth just comes from there. So never think about the people doing what you're doing. Just make sure you do good with what you're doing and collaborate with your peers. And, you guys are just going to go from, height to height.
Okay, sir. I also want to ask you, I mean, looking at your design, I mean, I went through your page and I couldn't leave the page. I was there for almost, I was really inspired by your designs, and, I could see that the passion was there, the consistency, the uniqueness, the creativity was there. And I just wanted to ask you that what inspired you to become a fashion designer?
So a fashion designer start. Okay, I will start by what inspired me to be a businessman. So growing up, I went to a private secondary school, not very far from my house. All my siblings all went to, they were all boarders. You get what I mean? So I was always the one home with the folks, yeah. And my mom is a business tycoon. She's got a store where she sells stuff. So growing up, I was that guy. I always say this during my time. They used to call me the shop guy then. Do you get what I mean? Call me the shop
Yeah.
guy. 'Cause after school, when I was in second, after school, I'm always at the store. After this, from the store to the house, you know what I mean? So that's how the business thing got into me. Then I got into school. I went to Crawford University. Shout out Crawford University. So I went to Crawford University, and I saw that a lot of people want to look good, right? And I had this thing in me where I like to wear beautiful attire, good stuff, right? So I saw people wanted to look good, and a lot of people see what I wear, and they ask me, "Where did you get this thing you wear?" Then I will say, "Yeah, I got it there. You can go get it there." And I thought about the fact that I could start selling this stuff. Yeah. Okay, I didn't even think like I could start selling this stuff. So I brought two pairs of slippers to school back then. This was 2005. I bought two pairs of slippers to school, and a friend of mine got one for me. I got that slippers for, I think, 1K, and I sold it for him for 1.8. Then you know what 800 can be.
Yeah, it was a lot of
So I
money
thought about
though.
it like, oh wow, I made 800 in how many minutes? Then someone else came and I sold same 1K slippers for 2K. So that was how, I thought about it like, you can use your passion to satisfy people, and make make a living for yourself. That was how, okay, fine. That's how the whole business thing is started. Then I now thought to myself, Tosin, you've been selling ready-made stuff. How do you want to, everyone is now doing this thing. How do you want to get away from the normal niche everyone is doing? That was when the old bespoke attire started coming in. So I think, it's about your passion. I had passion for these things from a very young age, and I'm going to tell you, while I was in Nigeria before moving to the UK, I never worked with anybody, any
Wow.
establishment all my life. I
Wow.
never worked with any establishment all my life. I've been in the UK, but in the UK, when you come in as a student, when I started spending on my naira was finished. I had to start working in the UK as a student. But by the grace of God, we're trying to build the T Clothers bespoke brand, and we're going to leave the working sector in a very soon. Now we're going to concentrate our business. And I
Yes,
know
I
with
got
the help
it.
of
That's
God,
the spirit.
yeah,
Yeah,
help
yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
God,
yeah.
we're gonna achieve that
Yes,
also.
by God's grace, by God's grace. Wow, 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 wow. I know that you're also a recipient of the Global Talent Visa. Do you just want to? I'm sure that there are people on. I know that for the Global Talent Visa, there are some sectors that are not covered. It's just some. I know that tech is there, fashion designing, music. I really don't have all the list on top of my head, but for people that are fashion designers on this platform, would you just want to tell us, for those that want to get Global Talent Visa, how do we go about it? I mean, of course, I know that if they want further information, they would need to meet you because you're a coach. But can you just give us a brief, because some people just feel that, what can I really do in this UK? I'm tired of working out. I'm a business person. I want to work. Me, I like to work with my hands. I would rather work with my hands than work for someone anyway. So, of course, I'm not a fashion designer, but for people that are fashion designers and people that they're also part of the category of the global talent visa. Can you just tell us how it works, sir?
Okay, so the UK Global Talent Visa is a scheme or a route in the UK for talented individuals in the field of tech, in the field of art and culture, which is where we fashion designers fall under, and in the field of research and academia. So, for the sake of this conversation, we'll not be talking about the tech or the research and academia. We're just going to be talking about the art and culture, which is where fashion designers fall. So it's the kind of visa if you are a tailor. I don't want to even use fashion design because everybody think you have to be a fashion designer in code. You can be a tailor and you can get the UK Global Talent Visa. So what does it entail to get the UK Global Talent Visa? So you need to show that you have evidences, you have proof to show the British Fashion Council, which are the body that takes care of all your evidences when submitted. So the first thing you need to do to apply for this endorsement. So the application is divided into two stages actually. The first stage is called the endorsement stage, which is the stage whereby you gather all your evidences for submission. Why after you get your endorsement, the second stage is now called the visa stage. So the endorsement is just like a COS, that letter you just need to use to apply for the visa. So the first thing you need, you need 3 letters of recommendation. So these 3 letters of recommendation needs to come from top fashion designers or top people in the top organizations in art and culture, right? So people that can write a letter for you. I wouldn't call it a reference letter, yeah, because reference letters can be just to whom it may concern. So this kind of letter needs to be addressed specifically to the British Fashion Council, right? And these people needs to talk about your artistic relationship with them, talk about themselves, their achievement, what they've achieved, because not just anyone can recommend you. It has to be people that have done well in the fashion industry or done well in the art and culture industry. You get what I mean? So the person needs to state their artistic relationship with you, right? And the person needs to state why they feel you are worthy of this visa, right? And the person needs to say something like how they feel you're going to benefit from the what is that thing you don't have in your country that the UK is going to give to you, and what is that thing the UK you're going to give to the UK as well, because it's going to be a give me I give you relationship at the end of the day. Do you get what I mean? So you need 3 of those kind of letters, right? So if you've gotten those 3 letters, you're good to go. Then you need them to satisfy there are 4 criteria. You need to satisfy any 2 of those 4 criteria. So the first criteria is you need to show proof of sale. You need to show that you sold stuff to people all around the world. You need to show invoices, receipt, and stuff like that, just to show that truly I sold stuff to people around the world. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to show proof of media. You need to show that people have spoken about you, not just about you, about your artistic work, about your practice, what you're doing. You need to show that the media has spoken about you, international media, local media as well. So the third thing also, you need to show industry recognition. It's talking about, did you study something in fashion during your undergraduate or your postgraduate or just in a formal institution? So you need to show if you did something like that. That's another evidence you can show. And lastly, you need to show support and sponsorship. That's, have you gotten support and sponsorship from any British Fashion Council counterpart? People that say that, yeah, this guy is doing well. Yeah, we want to support you with this and that and that. So you can just satisfy any 2 of these 4 criteria I have done. You need up to 10 evidence. So if you can do 5-5, good. If you can do 4-4-3, you are good. You get what I mean? So once you do all those, you just need to pay the amount of money. I think it's £776, and the money is collected in 2 installments. The first installment is £524, right? So when you now get that congratulatory message, I got my congratulatory message like, I think 3 days to the expiration of my student visa, because I switched from a student visa straight to a global talent visa during my time. So that was preparation just met me, because I knew about the global talent when I got to the UK, and all while I was studying, I was gathering my evidences, right? All while I was gathering my evidence. So as I was doing my dissertation, I was gathering. Maybe I should have even finished with the first class if I was not doing 2 things together, because I was gathering evidences that I was doing 15,000 words. It wasn't, 15,000 words for dissertation. Do you get what I mean? But glory to God, I was able to switch from the global talent. And the benefits of the visa are a lot. one, you can work in every sector. Even you're a global talent fashion designer, you can work in health, you can work in tech, you can work in any sector, anything you want to do with your life, you can do. You can establish a business in the UK. I think I registered my business 6 hours after I got my visa. But now you now have to start paying, start have to doing your books. You need to start paying what they call the corporate tax in the UK and blah blah blah, right?
Wow.
And the visa allows you to be able to bring in your family also. You can bring
Wow.
in your wife, you can bring in your kids as well, and the benefits are just. I think the only disbenefit or the only disadvantage of the visa is that you cannot be a sports person. And personally, I've stopped playing professional football, so I'm good to go. So
Yeah, good to go.
benefit a lot. So I tell anybody, in case anyone is on the live that wants to go through this route, I've got free webinars online. You can go to my I've got a lot of I got two recent ones and check them. And if you feel after reading that you need one-to-one you want to know better, you can also book a one-to-one strategy section with us as well. So I think that's it about the global.
All right. On a final note, I would just like you to give just one last word to those that are thinking of having a business in the UK, and some people are scared that who I don't want to go about it, tax, and just a whole lot of stuff.
So
I just want
I'll tell them one step at a time, right? There's nothing scary about doing a business abroad. Do you understand? But make sure you know the kind of visa you are on. Also, I didn't mention that, there are some different countries that got different visa whereby you cannot work, you cannot establish a business. So because you don't want to get into troubles. Do you get what I mean? So you need to know the laws that covers your visa, whatever visa you are using or whatever visa you have in any country you have. Make sure you know the law so that you don't, if you are not supposed to do a business, don't do a business. Or if you have a partner, if the partner can do it, then the partner you can be the person doing the business, but it's your partner's that is registered because he has the right to work in whatever country. So make sure you know the laws that cover that country, and it doesn't have to be different. You don't have to just start. You don't have to be big immediately. Whatever business you're doing, start from whatever stage you are. Do you get what I mean? Because a lot of people think they have to have £10,000 or £3,000 or £2,000 to start a business. You don't have to have all the money. You need to start from wherever you are, and with consistency, with knowing what you're doing, and with God by your side, you're definitely going to break barriers.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Tosin. You have done so well.
Thank you.
Finally, I just want you to tell us more about your business, what you do, how we can. I mean, some people are on this platform. Maybe they're planning for their graduation. How can we contact you? What are your services like? Can you just tell us more about your business, sir?
For people graduating this December, we've got good stuff for you. I think this was the time I graduated back then, so it was a winter congregation, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got new stuff, new suits, attires, suits, bespoke suits for graduates that are going to be doing their graduation this winter period. So make sure you hit us up on our Instagram or check us up on our website. So my Instagram is T Claudia's Bespoke. I know anyone that is on here will definitely know my Instagram, yeah. And our website is tclotiers.com. I'm going to spell that. It's spelled TWECLOTHIERS.com. So we make sure we sell the best attires you want to wear for your. Where are you getting married? Are you doing your graduation? Are you celebrating your mom's birthday? Are you celebrating your dad's birthday? And you want to look regal and really traditional in the UK? You don't have to, call people from back home. We are just beside you in the UK. Wherever you are in the UK, we've got free delivery also for anybody ordering from the UK.
Is
And
it free delivery? We're not paying for
yeah, you're
delivery.
not paying for the delivery as well. So
Wow.
make sure you eat us up after this live. I have to start saying ping,
Yeah.
ping, ping, ping on my
So please
Instagram.
hit him up. He's really very creative. It's not because he's here today, but I went to I was stopped to his page. I was really captivated by the uniqueness and the creativity in your styles. So if you're getting married, you're having your convocation, you're having a birthday party, or you just want to look good, please go to at T-Shocks Bespoke on Instagram and their website.
Claudia's Bespoke, not
Sorry,
Claudia.
T Claudia's Bespoke. T Claudia's Bespoke. And on their website is tclaudias.com. at T Claudia's Bespoke. Please follow him on Instagram, and their website is tclaudias.com. He really makes good design and it's very, very affordable. And don't worry, I can assure you that you're going to get customers from this platform. Once
Thank
again, I
you.
just really want to thank you so much for today, and well done. Keep up the good work. Keep being a shining light on your job. You are doing so well. Like, I was really captivated. I felt like just, coming to your your store and packing all the male attires. They were really good looking and very unique.
Thank
I mean,
you.
and then I saw what you did at Lloyd's Bank, like I said. But for Lloyd's Bank to call you, I'm sure they were also captivated by your creativity. Well
Thank
done. Keep being a shining light. I pray that God will continue to prosper your business.
you.
And my
Amen.
regards to your family. Help me to celebrate your wife and your entire family for allowing you to be with us tonight. God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank
Okay? All
Thank you
right.
very
Have a
much for
great
having me
evening.
on the show, and you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up, okay?
Thank, thank you, sir. God bless you. Have a
All
great
right.
evening. Keep up the good work. We're proud of
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Bye.